The Leap is about giving you the ability to explore your potential so you can keep up with the fast-paced world we live in. Leap into the future with Flo's broadband packages. Turbo 10, $75. Turbo 20, Turbo 30, and introducing Turbo 100. Leap, let's evolve as people.
This is CC6 Newsnight Week in Review for October 28th to October 31st, 2013. It was the week in which the Finance Minister announced a lowering of the income tax threshold. A murder conviction was overturned, setting free a man sentenced to 12 years for the crime. And the solid gold FIFA World Cup trophy touched down in the Spice Isle. In sports, a new date to complete controversial GFA Premier League game between Lime Paradise and defending champions Hard Rock. Stay with us to bring you details when we return.
Now it's easier and more convenient to pay your Flow monthly bills when you use the check drop box at our Dusty Highway office. Simply write your name and account number on an envelope with your check enclosed and deposit it into the check box, or write your phone number at the back of the check, attach the check to the bottom portion of your bill, then deposit it into the check box. It's that easy. For more information on bill payment option, visit our website at www.discoverflow.co. Flow, watch, talk, click.
Large windows, large doors, small windows, small doors. At St. Lou Metal, the size doesn't matter. You order the size you want and we make it to your specifications. If you need our new heavy-duty casement windows or half-inch impact or laminated glass or any other doors and windows, no problem. What size? Any size. You get it at St. Lou Metal. And coming soon, PVC windows and hurricane shutters. St. Lou Metal, 19 Frequente Industrial Park, powered by Grenadian Innovation.
Thanks for joining us. I am Samantha Williams-Worm. The income tax threshold is being lowered in Grenada as the country prepares to usher in a homegrown structural adjustment program, part of broader plans to revamp the economy.
Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell, has announced that as part of Grenada's 2014-2016 homegrown program, government will lower the income tax threshold to $36,000 per year or $3,000 per month. At present, only earnings in excess of $60,000 annually are liable to 30% income tax. However, in an almost 30-minute national address aired on CC6 on Wednesday night, the nation's leader says the new measures will take effect in January, but not at the same rate as those who have been paying.
As part of the homegrown program, government will lower the income tax threshold to $36,000 per year or $3,000 per month. Government will also reduce the income tax rate by half to 15% for persons earning less than $60,000 per year. The rate of 30% will remain for persons earning more than $60,000 per year.
Dr. Mitchell says he made the announcement in October to give people time to prepare for the change. In the address, the PM says government has asked all local banks and credit unions to be sensitive to this situation, and these financial institutions have issued their assurance that they will work with customers where necessary.
Grenada expects to receive at least $100 million in soft loans and grants to support this homegrown program. These funds will enable government to offer more assistance in areas such as soft loans for small businesses, house repair and expansion, skills training for youth, and more support for farmers, for the tourism sector, among other initiatives.
Prime Minister Mitchell says a major reason for this tax effort is to boost the country's revenue, and in that effort, the Inland Revenue Division will step up on its tax collection system where property tax is concerned.
Throughout our consultations over the past few weeks, there have been consistent calls for government to ensure that everyone pays their fair share. As a consequence, there will be new policies to deal with persons who are not paying their fair share of taxes. Already, the Inland Revenue has identified the top 100 tax delinquents, and they are being pursued for their taxes owed to the state. This is not simply a fiscal issue. It is a moral issue.
He says last week the World Bank was in the spice aisle to prepare a US $30 million support package, and Grenada can also expect to receive at least US $100 million in soft loans and grants to support the homegrown program. He also said that during the next few weeks there will be further consultations as government seeks to build consensus and broaden support for the homegrown program. Also in the address, the Prime Minister urged employers, especially the private sector, to refrain from laying off workers. And he also announced that government has submitted a bid to purchase majority shares in Grenlec. Blossom Alexis Welsh, CC6 Newsnight.
Passengers who leave the island aboard yachts will soon be asked to pay an increased fee, according to the Embarkation Tax Amendment Act that was passed in Parliament on Wednesday.
Parliament has approved legislation to amend the 1967 Embarkation Tax Act to provide for an increase of the fees from $1 to $20. This amendment will only affect the yachting industry, according to Minister of Tourism and Civil Aviation, Honorable Alexandra Otway-Noel, who tabled the bill in Parliament on Wednesday.
Under the current construct of this bill, as it relates to the amount collected, it does not reflect the administrative costs and the current needs in terms of technology and so on related to this this sector. This bill was originally legislated in 1967, I believe, and the needs and requirements have changed significantly.
She says since its enactment almost half a century ago, adjustments need to be made.
In order to continue to develop and maintain the high standards that we would like to have in our service industry, we will need to make the necessary adjustments to this embarkation tax. And in doing so, we would like to ensure that we continue to develop this sector. The yachting sector continues to bring a lot of business to Grenada, and as a result, it is having passengers embarking on voyages from our islands into other parts of the world. That's how this tax would be collected.
Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Dr. The Right Honourable Keith Mitchell supported the bill and says it will be the passengers on the yachts that will incur the new charges.
The embarkation tax was $1 before, and as she said, she didn't give the exact figure, but $1 in this present day circumstances is quite insignificant. So it now would be $20, but the fee would not be paid by the yachtmen themselves, the passengers who board their yachts. And I think that distinction needs to be made. So it's not, and they are paying their fees to other countries where the yachts travel to. So Grenada, of course, needs its fair share. And as she pointed out, as the minister quite rightly pointed out, to ensure that our tourism product continue to be at a certain level and the services at a certain level consistent with what it is in this present technological age.
In addition to the Embarkation Tax Act, there were 14 other bills tabled for first reading before Parliament on Wednesday, including the Financial Intelligence Unit Amendment Act, Interception of Communications Bill, St. Patrick Road Rehabilitation and Upgrading Loan Authorization Bill, and the Socially Displaced Persons Bill.
The man sentenced to 12 years for a 2008 killing was set free on Monday following a successful appeal by his attorneys in a case that has generated wide debate.
A dispute 5 years ago between Kevin Hille, a then 25-year-old Mardi Gras resident and mechanic by profession, Trisha Haywood, the mother of his children, and her male companion Tisa Chase resulted in Kevin's death. The incident occurred at the home of Trisha Haywood in Muntu, Grandans on June 12, 2008. After investigations carried out by the Criminal Investigations Department, Tisa was subsequently arrested and had the murder charge laid on him for Hille's death. He was later found guilty and sentenced to 12 years in prison. His attorneys appealed the conviction and the case was heard in St. George's on Monday, where Chase walked free after winning the appeal. Trinidadian attorney at law Keith Scotland, who got involved in the case at the appellate stage, says Tisa's freedom is definitely a victory for justice.
What happened was that having received the submissions made on behalf of the appellant, the learned director of public prosecutions, Mr. Christopher Nelson, did not think it fit to argue and resist the appeal, and he made certain concessions and he conceded that the grounds were solid grounds, particularly grounds 3, 8 and 2, and that it was the ground of that the defense of another and self-defense were not properly put to the jury, and the good character of the appellant was not clearly marshaled and crystallized before the jury.
Scotland says although he got involved in the case after being contacted by Rogers Ferguson, the trial attorney, and the family of Tisa Chase, his acquittal is definitely a plus for the justice system in Grenada.
It means that the system in Grenada is in good hands. Relative to the Court of Appeal, the Honorable Chief Justice was very, very succinct and very much on point with the submissions. It means that the holders of high office in this country put aside any personal views and act in the highest traditions, and to my mind, respectfully, it augurs well for the administration of justice.
The Trinidad-based attorney also gave an overview of the circumstances that led to Tisa's arrest, charges, conviction and acquittal.
It was a case involving, there was a murder at the home of Mr. Chase, of the deceased person, and the issues of self-defense. It was that the deceased had invaded the home and was in the process of attacking both Mr. Chase and his companion, and in those circumstances, this very unfortunate event arose.
Sherry-Ann Noel, CC6 Newsnight.
When we return, red carpet welcome for the FIFA World Cup trophy.
Only one dishwashing liquid can do the job. Quicks is the expert in taking out the toughest grease easily. You know you can trust it. Quicks cuts grease better, full stop.
Extraordinary is the beauty of our beloved island. It's a family picnic to a place where we will always remember. It begins with small steps, which grow into giant leaps. As we grow, extraordinary passes from generation to generation. Our traditions and culture are all extraordinary. And we all know that every day there are people among us who do extraordinary things. Grenada is extraordinary. Be extraordinary. Digicel.
The Leap is about giving you the ability to explore your potential so you can keep up with the fast-paced world we live in. Leap into the future with Flo's broadband packages. Turbo 10, $75. Turbo 20. Turbo 30. And introducing Turbo 100. Leap. Let's evolve as people.
Breeze removes stains in the first wash. The other detergents, not always. You have to wash it all again and use twice the amount. So, which one costs more? Do the math. Choose Breeze. Unbeatable stain removal.
Welcome back. The red carpet was rolled out on Monday morning for the arrival of the FIFA World Cup trophy, and many had the opportunity to have their picture taken with what officials say symbolizes unity.
It was a spectacular display of culture right here at the Morris Bishop International Airport on Monday as the solid gold FIFA World Cup trophy made its 25th stop on a worldwide tour right here in the Spice Isle of Grenada. The FIFA chartered plane arrived at MBIA at 11:30 a.m. and was greeted by steel pan music from local players, a dance display by Viniwe Lagrenade, Moko Jumbies and members of the national under-17 women's football team. Governor General Dame Cecile Lagrenade, Minister of Sports Honorable Emmeline Pear and President of the Grenada Football Association Chenny Joseph were then allowed on the plane for a brief private moment and to take pictures with the trophy. The Governor General did the official unveiling of the trophy aboard the plane before the prestigious symbol of unity disembarked on red carpet 45 minutes after it arrived. Dame Cecile spoke to CC6 Newsnight exclusively and called it an honor to be the one to unveil the trophy in Grenada on Monday.
It was really exciting, and you know, as a football fan, I think it will do so much for Grenada.
And you think this will also motivate the under-17 girls who are here today?
Very much so. It will be an inspiration to the young people, the young women football, especially with me as a woman in this position and the Minister of Youth, for Youth, also a woman. I think it should be a very inspiring day for them and motivate them to play well and someday bring a trophy home to us.
There are strict regulations in place to handle the trophy, including the fact that it cannot be in a public place without its glass case. Global Football Manager for Coca-Cola and overall FIFA World Cup Trophy Country Tour project leader, Brad Ross, spoke about the protocol involved in handling the trophy and says they took precautions in terms of its security.
There are only two types of people that are allowed to touch the trophy. That is a head of state or a former winner. So there's very, very few people around the world that actually have the opportunity to touch the trophy. So it's a great mystique and protocol that surrounds it. But that's the agreed rules that FIFA have in place that we as Coke need to obviously stick by and enforce.
And what's the significance behind having such rules in place?
I think it builds exclusivity around the trophy. It shows that, you know, it's the pure icon of FIFA World Cup and of sporting glory. And very few people have attained that ability to actually hold and hoist the trophy above their heads. So it gives it a little bit of mystique. And I think that adds a little bit of specialness to it.
At a ceremony on the airport Monday morning, Minister Pear represented Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell and reiterated that it was a great day for Grenada to participate in such a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
It is an excellent opportunity that we have today as a country to market ourselves to the world, to show the world what Grenada truly is, and the potential that still lies in Grenada to one day rejoice that we would have captured that prize that every football enthusiast really dream about.
National football coach Franklin Nat Simpson and former captain of the Spice Boys Anthony Nixon Modeste were among specially invited guests at Monday's ceremony.
It's something we all watch. You watch all these World Cup finals, you know how we're passionate about the game, and you see them raise it, you see them lift it. But getting up close to see this goal come out of the way, you know, the history of it, people stole it, people do what, the worth of it is just phenomenal to actually be a part of, up close with it.
As the president said, it's a dream Grenada have. Hopefully one day we can. And with this trophy being here, seeing it firsthand, it's really a sight, and I know it's a motivation. I wish I was playing, although I might help in the coaching capacity. But the players, I know they are very excited and they are looking forward to the challenge ahead and hopefully bring the trophy to Grenada.
The action then moved to the Montrouge playing field, where sports enthusiasts, footballers, members of the public and students got a chance to get their picture taken with the trophy, as well as the official mascot for the 2014 Football World Cup, Fuleko.
It felt real good. I feel like I need one like that for myself.
Okay. And what did you think? What prompted you to take the picture?
Because of trophies in Grenada, so it feels very wonderful to take a chance to take a picture. Thank you.
So you'll be telling your friends about this experience?
Yes, it was a great experience, so yeah, definitely.
I feel amazing.
Is this encouraging you to play football?
Yes.
Overwhelmed. Felt great.
Has this encouraged you to actually play football full time or often, you know?
Often enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what position do you play?
I play defense, midfield, or strike.
And what are your dreams in terms of that FIFA World Cup trophy?
One day to accomplish something for my country and win that World Cup.
Field Operations Director for Coca-Cola, Hector Mantalini, also spoke exclusively with CC6 Newsnight.
It's a great opportunity for Grenada to inspire young footballers and girls that like the sports too, to one day perform at their best and have the opportunity to bring the real trophy back as a winning country of the FIFA World Cup.
From the beautiful Isle of Spice, the trophy then moves to Suriname before it continues its 89-country tour. Reporting from the Montrouge playing field, where all the action is about the gold FIFA World Cup trophy. I am Blossom Alexis Welsh, CC6 Newsnight.
Coming up in sports, preliminary round of Republic Bank Right Start football almost complete.
The Leap is about giving you the ability to explore your potential, so you can keep up with the fast-paced world we live in. Leap into the future with Flo's broadband packages. Turbo 10, $75. Turbo 20. Turbo 30. And introducing Turbo 100. Leap. Let's evolve as people.
Cool me down. Nothing can hard in my country. So I open a bakery. Yes.
Hey, in order that I should marry.
When did you jump, soca? Friendliest people you'll ever meet. Wise man with black stone beside it.
Live on Community Channel 6 every Saturday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's Sound System Saturday.
Grenada, you are being watched by the hardest hitting commentary team ever assembled, and they tell you as they see it every Monday at 8 p.m. on Community Channel 6. Watchdog.
Biting commentary.
A biting commentary. Repeat broadcast Saturdays at 8 p.m.
Biting commentary.
Welcome back. A decision has been taken into the controversial Grenada Football Association Premier League game between Lime Paradise and defending champions Hard Rock, which was forced to be abandoned last Sunday at Progress Park, St. Andrew.
The match ended early following a raid of supporters on the field of play after a penalty was awarded to Hard Rock by match officials. A GFA committee met this week, and reports are that the committee has decided the game will resume at the same venue on November 10th with a penalty kick to Hard Rock and 35 minutes remaining in the second half of the match. However, it was also reported that the venue, along with several other venues where the remaining of the GFA fixtured matches are to be played, will be heavily secured by the Stadium and Security Committee to ensure the issue does not reoccur. No disciplinary action has been taken against any players of both teams. Both Paradise and Hard Rock are in standing position for the 2013 Premier League Championship, with Paradise holding a 1-point lead over Hard Rock in the current standings.
The preliminary stage of the Republic Bank Right Start football is almost completed, with only a few postponed matches left to be played.
Main organizer of the tournament is senior football coach in the Ministry of Sports, Ali Debelet.
We are in a very good position at this stage to identify most of the teams that have qualified for the quarterfinals. In fact, there are just 2 teams that might be vying for position, but most of the top teams have already been decided. In Zone 1, it's Happy Hill. In Zone 2, it's GBSS. Zone 3 is SAS. And Zone 4 is St. Mark's Secondary.
The other teams still challenging the Under-16 division are Brokers Secondary, Wesley College, St. David's Catholic Secondary, Presentation Brothers College, MacDonald College, Grenada Christian Academy, and Grenada 70 Adventist Comprehensive.
In the U21, the U21, it's Happy Hill. They are already winning their zone. They will be followed closely by GBSS and St. David's, and a toss-up between Boca and Wesley College. Just like in the juniors, the similar situation. They are both on 7 points. And in the other zone, it's MacDonald College, closely followed by St. Mark's on 12, MacDonald on 15, and then St. Rose and St. Mark's, St. Rose, and SDA.
Coach Debelet says the female division is expected to be completed by next week, while the quarterfinal stage is down for November 5th and 7th. Semi-finals are scheduled for 1 week later, and the finals are recorded for November 20th at the National Stadium.
Grenada, after returning from competing in 2 overseas beach volleyball tournaments, is preparing to better prepare and promote the sport of volleyball in the country.
Senior volleyball coach Rachel Braffett, who coached the teams while on their travels, gave details to Sports on 6 on Tuesday about their trips.
The Nausicaa had a beach tournament where our boys took part, boys and female. We didn't do well with the senior, but the junior we did well because, honestly speaking, we had teams like America, we had Brazil, Mexico, Panama, some real top teams. Although Jonelle and Darren, they really fought well, but unfortunately, they didn't make it into the playoff. Also, Renisha and Tanya, they also didn't make it in the playoff because they was playing teams like Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, and the US. It's not to say making excuses, but those teams and them is way above us. But however, it was a nice learning experience for us. And we went back to St. Lucia the following week, which I think it was on the 21st. We went to St. Lucia there with the under-17. This one was the ECV, that was the Eastern Caribbean beach volleyball. And we did very well in both the male and female. We had 2 guys, Jimmy Gilbert and Kwame Paul from St. Patrick's. And then the other 2 persons with female was Jamela Bealey and Cassie Paul. Yeah, well, really and truly, the female made it into the final.
He says it was the first time that any Grenadian team competed in beach volleyball final, and that experience will remain with them forever.
Unfortunately, we had some what you say, tragedy or what, because we booked our flight for 5:35 this Sunday evening to come back, and unfortunately, we could not finish the finals because it was around 5 o'clock when we had to leave to rush to the airport to get the 5:35 flight because we reached there around 5:20. We begged because the flight closed already, but unfortunately they let us in. Also, the guys was playing for 3rd and 4th place. They won a set already against St. Lucia, and in the second set they had to leave again and rush to go and get a plane. I think the organizer, I think that he's tried to stretch the tournament too long because he told us that the tournament would have finished by 4 o'clock, but unfortunately he went a little longer than that.
Mr. Braffett says the default loss for his team dampened the spirits of the players who were determined to win, and as such, they hope such a problem does not occur in the future.
That's all we have for you, and Sports on 60 recap of the headlines is next. Recapping the headlines, it was the week in which the finance minister announced a lowering of the income tax threshold. A murder conviction was overturned, setting free a man sentenced to 12 years for the crime, and the solid gold FIFA World Cup trophy touched down in the Spice Isle. In sports, new date set to complete controversial GFA Premier League match between Lime Paradise and defending champions Hard Rock. That brings us to the end of CC6 Newsnight Week in Review for October 28th to October 31st, 2013. Top stories from CC6 Newsnight can also be seen on our Facebook page, Flow Community Channel 6. On behalf of the news team, I'm Samantha Williams-Worm, thanking you for joining us.